We are live.
Yeah, we didn't do nearly as many lives as we should have either.
We were pretty good at Nashville compared to eBay Open. Nashville was tame.
That is so correct.
Yeah, there was no escaping the evidence from eBay Open. It was everywhere. But Nashville was very, very tame. Steve is in the chat. What is up? I guess he's back home now. Let's see who all we got in the chat right quick. We got Karen, Mr. Eric, Susie Q, David, Tiffany and Hugo, or one or the other, whichever one. April Davis, Jacob, Steve, and we got Alan. Is Alan back home, or is he still was he sourcing on the way back?
I mean, he's got a place in Tennessee too, so he's probably still there.
Gotcha.
He has a place in McMinnville, Tennessee, and then also Tampa, Florida. So
I know his son. He's still up there. Land Shark, Craig, how are you? So yeah, we made it back. I got up this morning. I left Nashville at 6:20, was back home at 8:20, and was at work at 9 this morning. There's Justin. It's nice to meet you this weekend, Justin.
Oh, absolutely.
Joni is in the chat. Melissa from Pecan Street.
Okay, so there must be something about that name. My wife is always out there, and God, if you ever get a chance to meet Joni Kramer, what a freaking character! Love meeting her.
Mary McQueen, how are you? Vulture the Dumpster Diver. Have you seen that name before? Is that a new one?
No, I've seen that one.
Okay. I may have. Welcome.
It's Tracy. It was good to see Tracy again.
Yeah, what's up, Tracy? But yeah, it was a fun meetup. It was we had the Nashville Flea Market on Friday. I got there Thursday night. Almost had a big wreck. I don't know how I did not have a wreck, but I made it through that one. Went to the flea market on Thursday. The flea market was not very good.
And there's Mario.
Hey, Mario.
I saw Mario. Met Mario actually at ASD, and then he lives in Nashville, so he came a couple times. That was a really nice guy.
Yeah, it's nice to meet him. Hey, Ken. Just in time flipping. Let's see. But yeah, the flea market, they said this was the last month before it goes to the bottom of the hill, supposedly.
Yeah, but we were also hearing rumors that there's no way it was going to be ready. So
there was a lot of people that were just not there that are always there. A friend of mine has been setting up there for years, and he wasn't there for the first time in forever.
Hey, good evening, Myrna. Carol.
Hey, Myrna. Carol. I said I wouldn't be back when I can't. You're not supposed to quit. Yeah, exactly. Anybody who didn't make it this year needs to be there next year.
Yeah, the one thing that was not surprising is there was just so many people. There was so many different ways of doing things. There was no right or wrong way. There was absolutely amazing to hear everybody's story and exactly how they did things and what they were into. And a lot of it with the sourcing methods. The carport guys, man, it's just fascinating the money that's there. You know, we talked about it early on. I think Dusty started in car parts.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys were willing. Nobody showed up to go with them. They were willing to take people there and show them what they do. But at the end of the day, like I was telling Dave on the way out this morning, it's a lot of freaking work. You know, people aren't willing to get dirty, sweaty. you guys are pretty safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all three of those guys sold car parts, but they all did it different.
Different, yeah, because with Andrew buying whole cars and stripping a whole car down, and
Buys
the
a
other
whole
two,
car,
yeah, so that's fascinating stuff.
and Chris buys cars and goes to the junkyards, and Dave just goes to junkyards. So they all do the same thing, but they all do a little bit different.
Yeah, they
Hey, Glenn.
and then you get Chris and Dave there, and you know they're gonna drink, and
I can't believe they didn't take me. Ah,
they they're fun, they're funny guys, and
yeah, they went downtown Saturday afternoon and on the strip down there in Nashville, and I did not go.
yeah, Chris was a little lit last night.
He said, "Yeah, I think I had 25 Jack and Cokes." It's like, how are you standing up? I had one the whole time I was there.
And there's Swamp Picker's here. Swamp Picker, actually, you'll see the video. I'll put it out in the morning. Swamp Picker went to yard sales with me and Harlan, and he lived to tell the tale.
He was gonna follow, and he said, "Just jump in the back." And we took off, and he said, "It's a good thing I didn't follow you because I would not have been able to keep up." Glenn just got home at 7. See, I was back home in 2 hours on the dot.
Yeah, this is the only one that we have it easy on. It's a couple hours. We stopped. There's a barbecue place in Nashville, Martin's Barbecue, that Johnny really, really likes. So we didn't even leave the hotel till they opened at 11. So we left the hotel, but I don't know, 10:30ish. Finally, waiting for them to open.
Pat Dees is in the chat. How are you?
So, Pat, did you catch up with I guess you're in Missouri tonight?
Yeah, he said he's still in Missouri.
Oh, yeah. Phil said he was home last
night. 2 hours isn't bad, though. I can swing that.
But it was, for those of you, this is how varied it was. I expected it to be this varied. There was a point where we were all sitting around talking, and there were 3 teenagers who with their parents' help sold on eBay, and are learning and doing very well. I mean, it's just fascinating to see the parents passing that entrepreneurial spirit and that attitude about making your own way to youngsters, and that was true. That was one of the highlights of the trip, is just seeing. And very knowledgeable about what they sell, and very into it. It was.
Yep, that was neat. Chris the Goose said Pat was doing karaoke earlier. I missed that. I missed it.
Yeah, I might have been taking a nap.
Another one. So, yeah, we did the flea market, we did yard sales, we did estate sales, we did the bins, went to some different stores and looked for clearance. So we did a little bit of everything. And it's a good thing we did, because there was not one thing that was great. Everything was just kind of weak. I think if we stayed at the bins for 3 or 4 hours, we probably would have done just as good as we would have done anywhere else.
We'd have either found more stuff or we'd have caught our death, one or the other.
Mm-hmm. My hands were nasty.
And did you know the whole time we were at the bin, Shane was over there scanning books at the same time? We just never saw him. How does somebody that's like 6'1",
I looked over there. I didn't see him.
He said they were there for like 3.5, 4 hours. They were there the time we were there, because they saw Glenn and he was with us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Kevin dropped $1,000 on Lego at a estate sale.
I would do a storage unit, America, but I just don't have where to put it right this second.
Same way with me. I got to get my garage cleaned out first. Let's see. What's up, party people? How's it going, Michael? Fantasy draft. I need to do a fantasy. I hadn't done fantasy in a long time. I did 4 baseball fantasy at one time. That was hard because that was a daily routine. Football wouldn't be as near as bad. So we went to some yard sales. I've got a few things here that I found. First thing I got was a Chamberlain garage door thing on the type on the side of your door. That was $5. Scott, I said, how much you think that is, Scott? He goes, probably $39. We scanned it, $39.
Yeah, I've sold several of those. If anytime you get the replacement garage door remotes, they're always good money. They sell pretty quick because people lose the garage door remotes pretty. I don't know how they lose them if they're on the visor of the car, but they lose them.
Then I picked up these, all sealed. Those were $2 for the stack.
You didn't even look them up. You just bought them.
Straight up bought them. It's nuts. I looked these up later on. Three of these sell for like $20 on eBay. So
yeah, if you're gonna buy blank cassettes, the one nice thing about blank cassettes is if you get the ones that call themselves CD quality or metal, they are worth much more money than the regular ones.
Yeah, this one's the high bias, so I guess that was probably worth a little more.
Yeah, it says CD on the side of it, so it's telling you that there's something in it that makes the reproduction of audio better.
Let's see. Baltimore Leon. How are you?
Bringing in here? My stuff's still in the van.
It's up to you.
I did buy a GPS unit. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, I talked about Garmin units, LMT lifetime maps. I paid $8. He wanted 10. I gave him 8 for it doesn't have a mount. It doesn't have a cord, but they use a generic cord. It's the 2597 LMT. Paid $8 for it. The unit by itself, just like it is, sells for $32, $33. So I bought that at the flea market.
Let's see. Hey, Mr. Sadie. Let's see. Joanne Warner. Yep, we made it back safe.
I know you are going to be shocked to see at the flea market that I bought a digital camera. I gave $5 for a digital camera.
I picked up some. I keep going the wrong way. Picked up some Bibles. This was the first yard sale that we went to that had the garage door opener. These were $1.50 and 50 cents. This one's still wrapped up, and I haven't looked these up, but a lot of these Bibles do really well.
Yeah, the Canon was a Canon camera. It was a 16 megapixel. It's a really good one. It's a 2400 IS, the 21 or 2400, I forget which. If you're going to start doing YouTube videos and want a cheap camera like that, there's some 12 and 16 megapixel Canons. They're really reasonable yard sales, and they do a good job. Much easier to deal with a camera than your phone. Just trust me on that. Even if you get holders and stuff for your phones, they do fine, but there's something about the ease of a camera and treating it different than you treat a phone. It's hard to explain.
What do we do to fight burnout? For me, this is my side gig. So since right now I'm maxed out, I'm not listing. But that don't work if you're full time. So I'll let Scott handle the full time side.
The biggest thing is to change it up. That's the one thing people don't get is every now and then I'll tell people that I get the urge to go on the road, and it's not about leaving home. It's not about anything else. It's about switching scene, doing things different. Generally, I'll hit the road once a month minimum, just because it breaks up the monotony. And kind of gets me refreshed because on the road I work a lot more hours, but I also send a lot of stuff in on the road and I get a lot more done. So it's very it takes the pressure off as well when you get back knowing that even if you still got a little bit of that burnout there, you got yourself caught up. So
hello, blended whiskey. Speaking of blended whiskey, I went to get a little bit tonight in my Coke and it was gone. That's what happens when you leave with your daughter and them here at the house. They finish off your Jack. What? So I'm drinking sweet tea tonight.
my Diet Coke doesn't even taste funny.
It does or doesn't? Doesn't even?
Doesn't even taste funny. But that's probably a temporary problem.
Picked up some. Scott found this one. Said, "You need any 10-pound fishing line?" It looks like it's full. So yeah, it's about full. It's 3 ounces, so that means I paid like 20 cents for this.
That was at the bins, right?
Yeah, that was at the bins.
At the bins, I bought a portable dog crate. You know, I've made a lot of videos. Anybody ever hear me pick up a portable dog crate? The one thing, why did I look it up? The one reason I looked it up is because the company that made it, Nylabone, is a big. Nylabone is a big. They make dog toys and stuff, and so I knew the name brand, so I looked it up, and the last one sold for $55 plus 12 shipping, and I paid $4.89 for it on at the bins.
Let's see. Yeah, those sunglasses I was trying on, those came from the bins. These are Quay, Quay, Australia. So they're in a pouch. Of course, they cost what, 20 or 30 cents?
Mr. Sadie, stop lying. We know all your fish start out at about a pound, but by the time you finish talking about them, they're the biggest fish ever.
10 pounds at the bins. Floor mats. Yeah, Glenn bought some floor mats.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big the fish is. It matters the story.
Balta, no, probably not. Picked up a fun coat, sells for $80 on Amazon. Box is the best condition. Can I disclose that it has some creases? Or is that a deal breaker for FBA? That's a deal breaker, right? Is that right, Scott?
Yeah.
That'd be eBay.
That'd definitely be eBay. The value in those Funkos is it's two places. It's an exclusive, something that wasn't made as much as the regular ones, and the condition of the box itself. Because chances are, if it's an exclusive, it's going to go to someone who collects them. And if a corner's damaged or if it's got a little bit of damage or whatever, they are going to raise holy hell because it needs to be perfect. Mm-hmm. That's why I send them out in the plastic protectors just to make sure that nothing happens to them.
Jennifer, how are you? Speaking of fishing, got this for $2. I think that was $2. Yard sale. It's got a few lures, lots of bobbers and hooks and some Yum spray. Anyway, I'm gonna pull out what I want to keep for me, and the rest will go to auction.
All right. The other thing I picked up at the flea market was cordless phones. They kind of follow me around everywhere. I found a base and 3 charging bases for a Panasonic Bluetooth. It's the exact same model I bought the weekend before at the yard sales. That and a Sony PlayStation. I think it's a PlayStation 3 wireless remote. I got those for $3. And each one of the charging bases with its power connector, they were all in a big knot. It took me about 20 minutes to unknot it. They're about $12, $13 a piece, and there were 3 of them plus the main base.
Hey Wayne, there's probably the best lure in here is this one. It's crawdad, crayfish. God, I go the way every time.
Yeah, Man, StreamYard's hard to get used to. It's backwards.
Yes, I keep going the wrong way. This, and there's some little jigs in there. I'll probably keep these. It's about time we get the kayaks out again, though, Wayne.
Susie Q, no, you don't have any issues with copyright videotapes that are pre-recorded on
them. Good wraps on sale. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything.
Joe Dub, I did not.
We went to. Go ahead.
I was gonna say at one yard sale they had two Dr. Scholl's inserts. You'll find them a lot of yard sales and flea markets. There's good money in Dr. Scholl's shoe inserts. One of them, sure, we don't care, Joe. Mention it away. One of them is worth $38 on Amazon. I paid $1. The other one was worth like $14. It was $1 as well. So I got two Dr. Scholl's. One, the men's is worth more than the women's, but that's not always the case.
Oh wow, 9-hour home. Another process on that truckload. She has a very interesting. I won't go into the details of what all she does, but she gets a lot of free stuff. Flying monkey finds. She gets a lot of free stuff. So that's
yeah. She's with Johnny Kramer. They were
free is good. Yeah, the Nashville bins is nuts. And that's probably the way it is at most bins, if I had to guess. But we went to some couple stores. We found some clearance items. I picked this up for $4. I think it sells for $40 on Amazon. Did not look up eBay. Nicorette. Picked this up for like $22. It sells for $45 on eBay. I picked this up for $3. I think it's like $20. So some discount type items.
Hey, Barry. Barry says he's still about an hour from home. Barry, it was good to see you and remember the whole thing.
We went to one sale and it said a warehouse sale. So we didn't know what to expect on that. So we got there and everything was just like on shelves and boxes. It was weird. So I'm looking at one shelf and she said, no, the stuff on that shelf isn't for sale. That's my stuff. But I had already started looking at this roll of wire and it's new wire. And she said, so that stuff on there is not for sale. But that wire that you have in your hand, you can have it for free. So it's like, ooh, score. So this is auction right here. This is probably $10 to $12 at auction. So free money.
I'm trying to think if I bought anything else.
I got this 1996 Longaberger Pottery Gingerbread Country Cabin. Still in the box. This was from the bins. This will go to auction. Some kind of tray. God, I go backwards every single time. So it's new in the box.
Oh, the one other thing I know I bought was, is everybody seeing I think it's from the 70s, maybe the 80s, the TV ears. They were as seen on TV ears, where you the ones you put and you can adjust the volume of the TV. I found a package of the replacement ear tips. There are 10 of the ear tip replacement, and they were still brand new. And the lady would not give me a price. I don't know how much. She kept saying over and over, "How much you want to pay for them?" Finally, I said $25, and she took it. So that's generally lower than I go. But if she insisted, I thought the first price, and then she took $25, which did. Why can't she just say $25? And then I think Glenn hit her was for something else for $1. He got some speakers for a couple dollars. She came back at $2.
For $5 on auction so far at $100. Let's see. Got a cast iron decorative floor vent for $5 on auction now. So far $100. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, there is groups of people that hang out at the bins all day long. I've seen them there before on a Friday. We went on we went on Saturday. I did not see those people. They may take off on Saturdays, but I actually talked to some of the people. They know each other by name, and but this was the bins also. This was heavy. It ended up costing me like $3 because of the weight, but I think I can get at least 10 at my auction for this.
Susie, I did not. They're still in a tub behind me somewhere.
Let's see.
I think one of the better finds I saw was Eric Gunner. He can't even take credit for it. His wife found a Canon AE1, the program version, the program edition, and it's written in green underneath the bottom of it. Program. That one is worth at least twice as much as the regular one. I think she got it for $6, $5. That was a good find. That's about $130 camera.
Nice. Mike, I'm swamped at work. I got home today. I left Nashville at 6:20, got home at 8:20, was at work at 9, went in for work about 3 hours, came home, started working again, and I was going to go to the auction and take some stuff tomorrow. So I said I need to do a video tonight to kind of show what I've got, but I'm not going to have time to go in the morning. So I'll still do my videos on Saturday and stuff, but I don't have time to make extra videos because I'm still swamped. How's it going? I think we said that was Rican, right? Rican flipper. I think that's right.
Yeah, like Puerto Rican flipper.
Let's see. Yeah, Alan found some hummingbird depth finders at the pawn shop.
Okay. There was a transponder or something at the bins. It wasn't hummingbird. It was a Lowrance. And the guy beside me, I was reaching over to grab it, and he grabbed it right in front of me. I was kind of pissed because I even there's money in that thing, even if it's not all its parts.
We actually talked about 3 people last time we were at the flea market who told us they get all of their stuff at the bins.
Yeah, there was one guy that we had talked to the last time we were at the flea market a couple months ago, and he was there, and I could see we were standing in line while he was looking over his shirts, and he had some looked like concert T-shirts, 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, he had all vintage clothing. There was a lot of vintage clothing people at the flea market. Yeah. Let's see. I got this at the bins also. This is a Axis and Allies game. It's an older game. I don't know if all the pieces are there. I'll be selling the pieces, not as the whole thing. I'll throw the box away. It had the board and everything in it, but it was really heavy, so I threw it back in the bins. I didn't even want that. So I'll put all these pieces. There's hundreds of pieces in there, so I didn't need the other stuff for the weight. I'm tired, Carol.
Hey there, Kevin's here. It was good to see Kevin too. Everybody. I didn't meet anybody that I just immediately thought, that's something somebody I couldn't get along with. Everybody there was generally nice. It was and all different spectrums, all different kind of people from full time to part time. It was just I enjoyed meeting everybody. It was just a really good time.
Let's see. Did you check out the Monopoly game? I have not checked it out yet to see what all is in it. This is the only thing that I purchased at the flea market was this big, I think it's Franklin Mint, I believe. The Monopoly games. It's wooden, got a drawer that pulls out. The pieces sell for this brand new is like $700 to $800. This one's dirty and kind of nicked up. I paid $35 for it. So I'll probably, I don't know if all the pieces are there. I'll have to look at it and clean it up.
You gonna tell the whole story on that or what?
I can. So we're at the back of the flea market, and you can start setting up on Thursday. So we get there early on Friday. We get there earlier than a lot of the vendors do. So my brother is looking at that game, and he's like, "Oh, that's a good Monopoly game right there. Those sell for a lot." We looked them up. It's like, yeah, they sure do. And we looked around. Now they still had nothing on the tables except for that, and all the stuff was on the floor. So later on, I walked back there, and they were setting up. How much is that Monopoly game? She said, 40. And I said, "What's your best price?" She said, 35. So I took it out to my truck. My brother went back there later, and they said, "Did you sell that Monopoly game?" And they said, yeah. Somebody come by and got it. My brother says, "I bet you it was Harlan." So he called me. He goes, "Did you get that Monopoly game?" I said, "Me? No." He goes, "Man." And that's the only thing I bought the whole time I was there.
Yeah, so what's the lesson of that? Don't tell Harlan what something's worth until after you've purchased it.
That's right. So when I went to work today, I took some stuff to our dumpster. It's a good thing I did. Because somebody had threw out a whole bunch of things in a clear trash bag. It was laying right. I lifted the top up, and it's laying right there on the top. So I just grabbed the whole thing, threw it in my truck, and brought it home. And there's some interesting stuff. I got some headphones. Some of the stuff will just be like flea market stuff. I haven't looked this up. Anybody in Delta? I don't know if that's metal for your car.
I think we lost Harlan. Bye-bye. Either that, we lost me. All right, I was checking my internet. I'm like, I wonder if it's me. He's the one with freaking fiber internet. The last time, one of these last live shows, he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I think I need to pay my AT&T bill." He'll be back. The only bad thing is I have no idea what was in that bag because this is the first time I've seen it, so I don't know. Let's see. So the first night we ate at Ryan's, and I guess that was Friday night. It was very nice to have a room that held everyone. There must have been. Phil, did you actually get Phil's in the chat? Did you get a number of exactly how many people were there Friday night and Saturday night? And then Saturday night at the Mexican, that was really good Mexican. There were quite a few. It felt like Johnny Kramer says 45. Phil said like 40. A couple guys come in. So if you weren't there, you missed the ZZ Top reunion. My buddies, the Thrifton brothers, Sean and Steve, came in, and their beards are like 3 times the size of my beard. So I had the baby beard in that group. Don't. Yes. I'm alive. Okay, I left my other phone inside. It must be ringing. Yeah, the Thrifton brothers are awesome dudes. Just a just relaxed, easygoing guys. Start talking to them, and they'll tell you a lot about their business model. It's very different. That's probably what happened, Mr. Sadie. Kevin was outside with a hatchet and went right to his fiber optic cable, just like that. You think they ran? You think an undercover cop? He might have. They might be investigating him, so they killed his internet. Bought the Leon. Monopoly for Socialism is blowing up. The problem with it now is, I believe Target was the only one that carried it. They were at least the main carrier for it, and Target has pulled it from all stores. So you might find one here or there, but it's going to be tough, and so the value of that is going to stay high, because most Targets, if you look on BrickSeek, will say they've got 6. That's one case, and they are already in the back, and they will straight up lie to you and tell you that they don't have any more, because that's what they've been instructed to do. Yes, because they're not going to sell that. Instead of saying, we pulled that, the company has made a decision to pull that, they're going to go, oh, no, we don't have any. They'd rather tell you a lie than actually tell you the truth. Had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that one. My business model, the Monopoly last year with the Millennial, was very different. I don't generally chase after a lot of those things, just because the value fluctuates so badly. Look at the Millennial Monopoly. If I didn't get out as fast as I did, I think John Johnson still got about 20 of them. Steve, did you ever get rid of your Monopoly for Millennials? Jody said my other phone was ringing in the house. Harlan's probably calling me over there. Steve still has 28 of the Monopoly. So yeah, that's not great. I have 1. Same as Craig. Yeah, it was very interesting to have 2 people named Joni at the same meetup, even though they spell their names completely different. Joni Kramer and then my wife, Joni. The weather didn't cooperate with Joni. She has with her 4 back surgeries, anytime the weather is bad with fronts and stuff moving through, we had rain and threats of rain all weekend. But she got down there. She went out to eat both times, and she'll spend some time talking to everybody. She just doesn't do the resale, so Harlan and I knew we were on our own. But we did leave her. Harlan drove us to the flea market so she could have the van. So she went to the mall or something looking for herself stuff. Joni Kramer actually told me she didn't come to see me. She come to meet Joni. We think Harlan's computer died. Oh, call him and ask him. Karma's a bitch. Hey, are you going to end this thing, or are you coming back? What happened? Your computer completely died?
Yeah, my computer died off.
And damn, that's a new computer.
It just runs up. Yeah, I'm trying to. How can I go back into StreamYard?
Yeah, just go back into StreamYard, and that broadcast will still be there. Just enter the same studio instead of creating one. You'll be fine.
You're still on there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll be there
His computer froze up, so he had to restart it. He is just now going into. Let me see when the dates are for that. For the I probably will not do Chicago because there'll be some more information coming out. But Dan and I are buying. We're the end buyers on 2 Kmart's that are closing, and they're supposed to close in the last 2 weeks of October. So my October is going to be a little insane trying to clear out 2 Kmart's, everything that's left.
My computer froze up. But I'm back. What did I miss?
What did you miss? Johnny called me and yelled at me because my other phone is blowing up in the air.
Yep, too many phones. This is a brand new computer. I looked up there and I was just froze on the screen. It's like, no.
No, Dan is not Resale Rabbit. Dan is a friend and he lives in Massachusetts. Dan is a mystery.
The mystery man. Yeah, but anyway, I was just showing little stuff that I found from that bag. I started looking up some of this. This is Snow Angel. Snow Angel. It's by. Yeah.
Is that something you're looking to put on somebody?
Just depends. But it's all new sealed. I don't even know what it smells like because it's sealed. Smells pretty good. So yeah.
Make you smell like a snow angel. No chance in hell, Carol. Did he freeze up again? It looks like Harlan froze up again. Really? Oh, I was about to say, if he's gone again, holy crap.
I'm not holding anything up out of this box again because that's obviously bad luck. Jeez. I need to reboot everything, I guess.
What kind of party did the kids have that it destroyed your internet while you were gone?
I don't know.
You're gonna be like the hotel room that we had in Vegas. We were leaving. I'm like, Joni, walk around and just make sure the hotel one more time. Make sure we didn't miss anything. And she looks behind one of the chairs and brought out that little bralette looking thing that was evidently housekeeping and missed.
It wasn't hers, right?
Oh hell no! It wouldn't have fit her. Even when we got married, she was like 119. I don't think she could have wore that.
Yeah, philosophy. That's who it's from. Yep, that's bad luck. The Monopoly I stole from my bruh. That's what it is. Now I've got a new computer. I have a new router. I have new internet. Everything, but I don't know what's going on. I need to reset the internet. Porno sites.
You got all them cookies from porno sites. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just started talking about how many people were there Friday and Saturday night. Both venues allowed you to, especially Ryan's on Friday night, really allowed a lot of people to move around. We actually were there until they closed. You know, everybody just talking, and then at the hotel there was people inside, people outside. You can wander between groups. It was really a good time. I mean, you could talk to anybody you want on any of their business models. It was truly a lot. You could have stood there with me and Harlan while we watched Florida try to give it away to Miami. Because
Oh my gosh.
first night of college football, we had to at least watch the game, right?
Absolutely. College football. That's why we got the hat, and he has the shirt.
Yeah, we're ready.
New everything, same old service. Now I got new internet. I've got, what do you call it?
Yeah, Johnny and Maria were impressive. They polished off that whole bottle of wine, got up and drove all the way to Florida today. Damn.
Absolutely, Kent. That was amazing today. Those Louisiana kids put the smackdown on Curacao. 8-0. Little League World Series.
And then we had Sue, who they couldn't find a corkscrew, so they decided they were going to push the cork into the bottle. And next thing you know, Hara and I look at each other. We're covered in wine, where she's just splashed it all over, just everywhere. But for those of you who don't know, Sue was expecting her first grandchild in Dallas, so she got the daughter-in-law when it started having contractions. Was Friday evening? Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday evening. So she was there Friday night, but she left first thing Saturday morning to drive back to Atlanta, and she flew to Dallas yesterday. So Sue was in Dallas. Hopefully, she'll have her first. She said this was the first daughter in the family in 50 years since her and her sister were born. Everybody else had had sons.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, it's AT&T fiber is what I had, and I haven't had any trouble until tonight. I guess it's time to reboot it. Every now and then, I guess I need to do that. Let's see.
Oh, she's already had the baby, Ruby Redmond, 6 pounds 8 ounces.
Yeah, she had the baby before she even got there the other day.
Somehow I missed that. Well, congratulations, Sue, to you, Joey, and Joey's wife. I know y'all were just threw it over the moon. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, it was fun meeting everybody. This was what, probably twice as big as last year?
Yeah, at least.
People came from Florida, Louisiana, Virginia,
Ohio,
Illinois. Where's Pat from? Is he from Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania. There was even a lady there from the most awfulest place in the world, right down near Auburn.
Auburn, man. Is she in the chat? She is, isn't she?
Yeah, she is in Dixie. Yeah, she's in the chat.
Yeah, I thought I saw her in here.
Yeah, we talked to her even for longer. She was still there when we were leaving the hotel.
She told her kids that they couldn't wear their Auburn shirts. She said, Scott's going to be there. We can't wear that. I said, they could have wore that.
What a little firecracker. I enjoy meeting Dixie. She's got awesome kids and just a great little family. It was a lot of fun to meet them.
There she is. Hey, now.
So she left her glasses at home. All she had was her sunglasses, so she couldn't see the driver of truck home. So she's like, "It's like, you think Harlan would mind driving my truck home?" I'm like, "No, he don't care. He's got a big truck." This little bitty woman has got a truck bigger than Harlan. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. That's a big truck. Oh, tell them about your present.
I got a glass, an Alabama glass, and the other thing, the beard game. Some game where they throw balls at a fake beard toss, beard ball, beard something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't leave people throwing stuff at my face.
Let's see. just getting into sports. Started picking up sports cards in May. Yeah, I do sports cards when I find those. I like flipping those myself. You got to be careful because a lot of those are not worth hardly anything, especially if it's from the 90s, late 80s into early 90s.
There is money to even on newer cards right now today. There's money. There's money to be made. I know hockey cards have a lot of value with some of the higher end hockey cards. With some of these, there's been a couple phenoms that have come up in the last couple of years that their cards command a lot of money. So
Gummies at the face. Good old Lambert's. That's a fun place to go to.
yeah, that's a real rust bucket you got there, Dixie.
Yeah, I don't think that was a rust bucket at all. She said it's even got a button you can back up a trailer, but I don't have a trailer, so I can't use that one. Let's see.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite lines. Is when we were on our way to the yard sales, and Glenn goes, "It's probably a good thing I rode with you because I don't think I'd have been able to keep up with you." We hadn't got to the first yard sale yet. I was just flying down the interstate.
Flying. He was moving.
Hey, I didn't have any stories that started off with I was sliding like crazy and almost killed somebody. None of my stories started off like that.
Mine almost started and ended that way.
Ooh.
I don't see how oh my gosh. That was so scary. I was going into Nashville. There was some downpours. There was a big wreck on the left side of the interstate headed south. Traffic was backed up 2.5 miles. I'm going down the interstate, and there's a wreck up on the right. I see it, and I'm slowing down. All of a sudden, they're completely stopped, slamming on their brakes. I hit my brakes lock up, and I'm sliding on this water. And I'm not slowing down, and I'm like, I'm fixing to kill this person. I'm hitting them hard. I finally let off the brake, whipped it left, and then whipped it, and I just kind of fishtailed around the side, and I don't know how I didn't hit them. And luckily, there was nobody in the other lane, or that would have been a disaster.
Okay, Mr. Sadie wants to know where was the flea market. It was in Nashville. Nashville has a flea market once a month. But don't worry. Have we got a treat for you? We're going to shoot some video from Dog Days at Ardmore. You know, Nashville is a real nice flea market, and it's even moving to its new digs where everything's concrete and all these new buildings. Dog Days is down this windy little road that eventually becomes dirt. And I've made video there before. It's the one that you can buy dogs, chickens, turkeys,
rabbits.
We're going to that country flea market. Its big days are Memorial Day and Labor Day, so it's got one coming up in a few weeks. So we're going to see what we can find in the country.
Kevin is setting up, and so is the preacher. He's setting up too.
He ever sell all those Hot Wheels, or does he still got those Hot Wheels?
The preacher?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't seen him the last couple times when he set up at the church.
Yeah, I wrote myself a ticket for reckless driving. No, we didn't go to Dollywood. Dollywood is in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge, Sevier County. That's over where Kevin lives.
Mm-hmm. I need to get back up there again. Yeah, cops are trained in driving. I guess I was trained because somehow I did not hit them. And it would have been ugly because I've got a big black bar on the front of my big red truck, and it was a little car. They would have got eat up.
Yeah, Glenn says he missed Rusty Raccoon at the flea market. Tony was the only one that surprised me. Of everybody I knew that was in the chat, I did not realize he was so young. Rusty Raccoon. What really nice guy. He found us at the flea market. We talked to him for for a little while. Really, really nice young man. I like meeting Tony. You know, a lot of people you interact with in the chat, and when you meet them in person, they're the same kind, good people they are. But because I've seen him a lot in the chats, Tony, it was good to see him in person.
Mm-hmm. And Justin also, that came from Chattanooga. What's up, Kimmy? Yep, it would have been a big black bar to the butt. That's exactly what it would have been, and it would have been ugly. Well, all right. I think that's about all I have. You have anything else to add to it? Nope.
No, I'm going to bed early at night so I can get up at 6 and start tomorrow.
Me too.
You'll probably be at work at 6.
I need to be. Probably will be leaving around 6. But I got some more work to do tonight. First, I've got a stopping point lined up.
Justin Pac-Man was there. It was nice to meet him too.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good mod. I see him a lot. Very interesting to hear. He talked a lot about his work, his regular job, and fascinating their business model as well, the way they handle motorcycles.
There he is. Yeah, it was nice to meet him. It's always good to put a face to the name when you go to the meetups. So, all right. Thanks everyone for popping on and talking to us for a little bit, hearing about the meetup. It was fun. I think they said there was 22 that went last year, so it was double this year. And I think didn't he ask for video and pictures? I think earlier on the Facebook page, he's going to put together some kind of video and stuff for next year to make it even bigger.
Yeah, I was terrible. I don't know what it is. In the moment, you're talking to people so much, I don't like throwing a camera in people's faces. I do have video of the yard sales. We didn't do the bins because they don't allow recording in there. But so you'll see Swamp Picker with us as somebody else is asked to look at besides Harlan in the video. But that was very interesting. I'll tell you, because everybody would probably think adding a third person, oh my God, you're not going to find nearly as much with 3 people. Glenn Swamp Picker looks at completely different anything me and Harlan look at. It was fascinating. We walk up at the same time and we'd all 3 go different directions because Glenn had a different eye for different things. I spent some time just, once I had scanned the yard sale and given up just to watch what Glenn did. And it was amazing that his eye completely different than anything that Harlan and I looked at.
Yep.
Can we post the link to the Facebook?
Nashville, Tennessee was the meetup. So good times there, and look forward to it next year. They do one in Birmingham down there with Craig sometime also. I know that's been talked about. But anyway, we're out. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you later on this week. Peace.
Peace out.